All right, so you've been digging deep into this chief AI officer stuff.
I have.
We've got all these excerpts from CAIOlatest.kpf.pdf.
Right.
Not exactly a beach read,
Yeah.
but you're clearly serious about this whole CAIO world, so no more wading through the jargon.
Yeah.
Today's deep dive is all about extracting what a CAIO actually does,
Okay.
how to build one of those killer AI teams, and why this isn't just another Silicon Valley buzzword.
Well, and what's really fascinating to me is how fast the CIO role has gone from, kind of this niche thing to like everybody's talking about it, everybody needs one.
Right.
And it's not just the tech companies anymore.
Yeah.
Even government agencies are jumping on board.
Seriously, 80% of Fortune 500 earnings calls are mentioning AI now.
It's wild, right?
This report even mentions a Biden executive order shaking things up,
Yeah.
especially in government. It's like the future is knocking and it wants a CAIO to answer the door.
I love that. It's a
Yeah.
great way to put it because it really is true. And this is where it gets interesting, I think, because it's not enough to just be a tech whiz,
Right.
A CIO needs serious business sense.
Okay.
This report calls them the chess grandmaster, bridging those technical possibilities with, down here in the dirt, real world business goals.
Okay, so let's break that down.
Yeah.
What's actually on a CIO's to-do list? It can't just be make the AI do cool stuff.
Right. It's really about setting that entire AI strategy for the whole company, figuring out where AI can really move the needle, make the biggest difference.
Okay.
From happy customers, streamlined work,
Got it.
to like creating totally new product lines we haven't even thought of.
So they're like the architect and the general of the AI revolution all rolled into one.
Exactly. They build the AI team, they lead the team, they manage those big AI budgets.
Right.
And most importantly, they have to make sure all those AI projects actually deliver.
No pressure. Right.
Right. Talk
Okay.
about pressure. Which is where I imagine that whole Silicon Valley move fast and break things mentality might clash with, needing to show a return on investment.
Well, yeah, especially for a newer role like this.
It's a tightrope.
Yeah.
CIO's got to walk that tightrope championing innovation, but then justifying the cost, especially early on when the results might be a bit experimental,
For sure.
They've got to be able to articulate that value clearly to everybody, from that tech team all the way up to the boardroom.
So it's not just about understanding algorithms. It's about understanding the entire business world, the people involved.
The stakeholders.
Yeah. And even the potential risks.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do you build the right team to support a CII's vision?
Right.
This report really digs into the challenges of building and managing a top-tier AI team.
Yeah.
It's not a one-person show, right?
Definitely not. Although it's tempting to think, let's just get all the data science rock stars in one room.
Good luck with that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those folks are in high demand.
Exactly. This report really digs into the challenges of attracting and keeping that top talent because everybody wants them.
Oh, for sure.
But it's more than just technical skills. At a certain point, you need people who can see that big picture,
Yeah.
people who really get excited about AI's potential to kind of disrupt everything.
So more than just code wizards.
Way more. You need those data storytellers.
Okay.
The ones who can explain complex findings to anyone, even your grandma who's still using dial-up.
I love it.
And critically, you need people who are passionate about the ethical side of all this.
Yeah, right.
That's going to be huge moving forward.
It sounds like we're talking about a mini United Nations of AI experts,
Yes.
each with their own specialty, but all working towards this shared goal.
That's a fantastic way to put it. You need diverse thought backgrounds, experiences to really unlock AI's potential.
So how do you attract and, more importantly, keep these AI wizards? Because this report mentioned things like clear career paths, ongoing learning opportunities.
Yeah, it's about creating that environment where these highly sought-after individuals feel challenged and valued and empowered. And of course, competitive salaries are important, but it goes beyond that too,
Okay.
Building a culture of continuous learning where skill development is just ingrained in the team's DNA.
So things like paying for them to attend conferences, giving them access to online courses, setting up maybe internal mentoring programs.
All of that. Yeah, and never underestimate the power of giving your team a voice, a platform to share what they know, what they're passionate about with the whole company.
So those lunch and learn sessions about neural networks are actually strategic retention plays.
You bet. It's about fostering a sense of community, a shared purpose that goes beyond just punching the clock,
Right.
Yeah. When people feel like they're part of something bigger, something meaningful, they're less likely to jump ship when a recruiter comes knocking.
It sounds like building an AI A-team is a real balancing act, finding those rare individuals who are not just brilliant, but also passionate and excited about pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
It really is. It's like finding unicorns who also code.
Right. Who also happen to code and understand business and can talk to my grandma.
Exactly. And who won't leave for another job.
And who won't leave for another job.
That's the dream.
Right. So you've got your dream team assembled, the budget secured, you're ready to unleash the AI magic.
Let's do it.
But where do you even begin? It's like you're building this high-performance race car.
Okay.
You've got the best engine, the top-of-the-line parts.
Right.
But if you don't actually know how to drive it, you're not going to win any races.
Right.
This report doesn't shy away from the practical side of putting your AI plan into action.
Where the rubber meets the road.
Right, exactly.
Like having a big vision for AI is great.
Yeah.
But without execution, it's just a fancy PowerPoint.
So how do you turn those AI dreams into, like, real, measurable wins? What are the magic ingredients?
Well, you got to start with crystal clear goals, I think.
Okay.
Like really define, what does success look like?
Define your KPIs. Set those measurable targets.
Exactly. And make sure they're aligned with what the company actually cares about.
Yeah.
The company's overall goals. Because it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of new AI tools, but ultimately AI needs to deliver real business value.
It's got to have that impact.
No more AI for AI's sake.
Got it. So no more AI science projects.
Right.
It's about real-world impact.
Yes.
So how do you actually implement it?
I think breaking down that grand vision into smaller, more manageable steps is key.
Okay.
You need a roadmap, a phased approach that shows value incrementally while you're building toward that larger transformation.
Start small, prove it works, then scale it up.
You got it. And don't be afraid to adapt along the way, because AI's strength is its ability to learn and adjust. So use that to your advantage.
Build in those feedback loops, make adjustments based on real data and how people are actually using it.
Precisely. The AI world changes fast.
Yeah, it does.
So what worked yesterday might not be the best approach tomorrow. And that's where, strong leadership from that CAIO is absolutely critical. They need to be able to navigate those bumps in the road, keep everybody on board when things get tough, and really celebrate those early wins.
Speaking of real-world stuff, let's dive into how companies are actually using AI right now, because I bet our listeners are ready to move beyond the theoretical.
Me too. And this report is like a gold mine of real-world AI in action, from retail giants like Target and Amazon to airlines, government healthcare. We're seeing AI used in some incredibly innovative ways.
Let's jump in with Target.
Okay.
They're using what this report calls generative AI to change the whole in-store experience.
Interesting.
Okay, quick side note for those who haven't encountered it yet.
Yeah.
Generative AI, that's the tech behind those AI image generators everyone's buzz about.
Right.
But in Target's case, it's being used to craft a more personalized experience.
Okay, so how's it working?
Yeah. So imagine walking into Target.
Okay.
And instead of spending like an hour
Or 3.
or 3, right, trying to find that one specific item.
Because let's be honest, that's half the fun of Target.
That's half the fun. I'm kidding. So how's AI changing the game?
Well, they're rolling out something called Store Companion, basically a Gen AI chatbot that's there to help employees with almost everything.
An AI assistant for Target team members.
Exactly.
Wow.
It can answer questions about store policies, it can coach new employees, it can even help manage store operations.
Interesting.
The goal is efficiency, helping team members work faster, provide better service, and create a smoother shopping experience.
No more waiting in line for like 20 minutes while someone tries to figure out how to do a price override.
Exactly.
That's game-changing.
It's about giving the Target team information at their fingertips.
Right.
Which then obviously trickles down to the customer.
Makes sense.
But it's not just about in-store. Online's changing too, and Amazon is leading the charge there.
Oh, this should be good.
Right.
What's Amazon cooking up in their AI labs?
Well, they've unleashed Rufus, a Gen AI shopping assistant that lives right in their app.
Wait, like Rufus the dog from the Amazon Prime logo? That Rufus.
The one and only. Apparently, Rufus was a real dog who used to wander the Amazon offices.
Oh, that's great.
And now he lives on in AI form.
Okay, I love that. But enough nostalgia. What does Rufus actually do?
Okay, so Rufus is like your personal shopping assistant, available 24/7 right in your pocket. You can ask him anything about products, get comparisons, receive personalized recommendations based on your past purchases and what you tend to like.
No more endless scrolling through search results or squinting at those customer reviews that may or may not be real.
Right.
Rufus is my new best friend.
It's about making online shopping easier, more personalized, way more fun.
Right.
But AI isn't just transforming retail. Let's switch gears and talk travel.
Because booking a flight is right up there with a trip to the dentist, right?
The worst.
So how is AI fixing that?
Well, Alaska Airlines is developing a next-level personalized travel search engine,
Okay.
powered by, you guessed it, Genie AI.
So not your typical kayak or Expedia situation.
Not even close. This system gets to know your travel style, your quirks, your preferences,
Well,
and then uses that information to curate truly unique travel options.
it's like having a personal travel agent, but without the pushy sales tactics.
Exactly. It goes way beyond just finding the cheapest flight.
Okay.
It actually understands the why behind your trip.
I like it.
You prefer direct flights even if they're pricier. You're a budget traveler who doesn't mind layovers if it saves a few bucks.
Do you, like me, prioritize legroom over everything else?
The AI takes all of that into account,
Ow.
along with your travel history, loyalty programs, even the weather at your destination.
So it's not just booking a flight, it's crafting an entire experience.
You got it. Imagine this. You get personalized hotel recommendations, restaurant suggestions, even tips on local attractions that actually align with your interests.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Right. And it's not just better for travelers. This benefits Alaska Airlines, too.
How so? Besides, obviously making me want to book all my flights with them immediately.
Well, in a world that's completely flooded with travel options, a truly personalized experience is a really powerful way to stand out.
For sure.
It builds loyalty, it creates those wow moments that make people choose them over the competition.
Right.
It's also about optimizing their operations.
Okay, how so?
Well, by understanding travel patterns, they can anticipate demand, they can adjust pricing, and manage resources much more effectively.
Okay, one more real-world example before we dive into the nitty-gritty of data governance. I'm dying to hear about how AI is changing things beyond the private sector.
Okay, get ready for this.
Okay.
The California DMV.
Yeah.
Yes, that DMV is using AI to become more inclusive and break down language barriers.
Now that's something I can get behind.
Right.
How's AI doing that?
They've implemented this super advanced AI translation system that goes way beyond those clunky translation tools we've all used.
No offense to Google Translate.
None taken.
Ah.
This is different. This system understands the nuances of language idioms, even slang, to make sure that the translations are not just accurate, but culturally appropriate, too.
That's crucial because a bad translation can be awkward,
Yeah,
even offensive sometimes.
you're telling me. And it goes beyond just translating documents. They're using it for real-time interpretation during appointments.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So no more relying on family members or struggling to understand those forms.
Right.
This makes the DMV accessible to everyone, no matter what language they speak.
It's about a level playing field, ensuring that everybody can access those essential services.
That's AI being used for good.
I love it.
Now, we've talked about a lot of positive stuff,
We have.
but this report doesn't shy away from the potential downsides either.
And that's crucial too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, AI is powerful, but like any tool, it can be misused.
Of course.
We have to address those challenges head on.
So what are some of those challenges?
Well, one of the big ones is the potential for job displacement.
Yeah.
As AI gets more and more sophisticated, there's a real fear that it'll automate jobs away.
It's the classic robots are taking over fear.
Right. And it's a valid concern, but AI can create jobs too.
Okay.
The key is to focus on training and preparing people for those jobs of the future.
Where humans and AI will work together,
Exactly.
augmenting each other's strengths.
So investing in education and making sure people have the skills they need to succeed in an AI-driven world. Absolutely. The more we can adapt and learn new skills, the better prepared we'll be for those changes AI will inevitably bring.
It makes you realize that AI isn't some far-off thing.
Right.
It's already, here this report is packed with examples of that.
It is.
It feels like we're at this tipping point where AI is about to have this even bigger impact on everything.
We are just scratching the surface. And to harness AI's full potential, we need to talk about something crucial: data governance.
Okay, let's go there.
Data is the fuel that powers AI.
Right.
And if that fuel is bad, well, you know what happens.
You get a sputtering engine or worse. So what does good data governance actually look like in the age of AI? What should our listeners know about it? It's like you're making sure you're not putting diesel into a gasoline engine, right?
Exactly.
Everything falls apart if you're not careful about the data.
This report really hammers home how important data governance is, especially for CAIOs.
So for the aspiring CAIOs listening, paint us a picture of what good data governance actually looks like.
So it starts with knowing your data inside and out,
Okay.
Where's it coming from? What are you using it for? You need those rock-solid systems for collecting, storing, handling that data.
Right,
And it can't just be a jumbled mess.
right.
Accuracy, completeness, reliability. That's the name of the game.
No more garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
You got it. And then you've got the big ones, data security and privacy.
Right.
How are you protecting that sensitive data? How are you making sure you're not running afoul of regulations like GDPR?
Because a data breach is the PR nightmare no company wants to deal with.
Absolutely. And then we've got the ethics of it all,
Right.
which we touched on earlier. Are you using data responsibly? Are you being upfront with people about how their data is being used?
Just because we can collect tons of data doesn't mean we should.
Right. Data governance is about finding that sweet spot between doing cool, innovative stuff and being responsible.
Okay.
You're using data in a way that benefits your company, sure, but also society as a whole.
Right.
It's a real balancing
It's
act.
about being a good steward of the data you've been entrusted with.
Well said. And for CAIOs, that's a key takeaway.
Okay.
They need to be the champions of good data governance, making sure that their AI projects are built on a solid foundation of ethical and responsible data practices.
Otherwise, they risk creating AI systems that are not only ineffective,
Yeah.
but could actually do more harm than good.
Exactly. Data governance isn't just a tech thing. It's a strategic imperative for any company diving into AI.
Speaking of real-world examples, this report talks about Walmart using AI to totally revamp their product catalog data.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest, product catalog data doesn't exactly scream sexy AI application.
I hear you, but think about it. Walmart sells millions of products.
They do.
Keeping all that data accurate and up to date is a massive undertaking.
It's got to be.
So they're using AI to automate what was probably a very manual and error-prone process.
So they're using AI to automate what was probably a very manual and error-prone process.
Exactly. AI is now analyzing product images, descriptions, even customer reviews to catch inconsistencies and update the catalog automatically.
Wow.
It might sound kind of boring, but it has a huge impact on the customer experience.
Well, because who hasn't been frustrated by inaccurate product info online? Or worse, gone to a store only to find out the item isn't actually in stock.
The worst. This boring AI is actually improving search results, making online shopping smoother, and even helping employees find products in those massive warehouses.
It's like a behind-the-scenes AI revolution that makes everyone's lives a bit easier.
That's a great way to put it. And it makes you think, if a giant like Walmart is focusing on this, what other hidden AI applications are out there quietly transforming industries in ways we don't even realize?
It's a good point. We tend to fixate on the flashy stuff, the robots, the self-driving cars, but maybe the real revolution is happening in these less glamorous but equally important areas.
Absolutely. AI isn't just about replacing humans or creating the next viral app.
Yeah.
It's about finding those hidden efficiencies, automating the tedious tasks, and freeing up humans to focus on more creative strategic work.
It's about using AI to make our work lives better, not just more well-robotic.
Exactly. And that's an important thing to remember as we navigate this exciting and sometimes overwhelming AI-powered world.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the evolving role of the CAIO to the challenges of building a top-notch AI team.
We have.
We've explored the ethical considerations, the nuts and bolts of implementing AI projects, and the absolute necessity of robust data governance.
It's a lot to think about.
It is, but before we wrap up, what are some key takeaways our listeners can walk away with?
I think the biggest one is that AI isn't some futuristic fantasy anymore. It's here, it's changing everything, and it's impacting all of us, whether we're business leaders, employees, or just going about our daily lives.
So this isn't just a conversation for the techies, it's for everyone.
100%. The more we understand AI, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this new landscape. We can make informed decisions, advocate for responsible AI development, and help shape the future of this technology.
It's about becoming active participants in the AI revolution, not just passive bystanders.
Exactly. And that's what this deep dive is all about, giving you the information and insights you need to ask the right questions, challenge assumptions, demand transparency, and make sure AI is being used for good.
Because the future of AI isn't written yet. It's something we're all writing together.
I love that. The more informed and engaged we all are, the better that future will be.
So to our listeners, stay curious, keep learning, and don't be afraid to dive headfirst into the world of AI. You might be surprised at what you discover. That's it for today's deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring.